Good, good. It's like afternoon time. So good afternoon. Um, last time we were here, we talked about. I don't remember. Maybe it was Proverbs. But so yeah, I think it was Proverbs. We were reading from Proverbs 12. I think. But so our topic for today, we're gonna be focusing on like the issues with being a teenager. And I tend to focus on this a lot because I'm a teenager. I don't want to give anyone the wrong impression that it's easy. It's not easy. I'm not trying to tell you not to give your life to the Lord, but I am telling you that, and if you hear my voice echoing, I have something in here. So, what I am telling you is, I'm not telling you not to give your heart to the Lord. What I am telling you is to consider, because being a Christian is going to cost you your life. It's going to cost you your entire life. You have to be a Christian for your entire life. When you see things that you want to do, you have to tell yourself no. Even though it may seem appealing to your flesh, you have to deny yourself. So every single day you have to kill yourself. Not in the weird, worldly, perverse way, but in a way of denying yourself, taking up your cross and following the Lord. Your body does not want to die. You don't want to die. You don't want to kill yourself, but you have to every single day in order to be Jesus' disciple. I am telling you that it's impossible to be a Christian. That's what I'm basically telling you. It's impossible. You can't. You can't be a Christian. You can't go to heaven. You can't live a good life. You can't. With your own strength, you can't. That's where the Holy Spirit comes in. So as a teenager, so for the adults, you've played a lot. You've had fun. You did what you did. Now you're really ready to just cool down. You're ready to just calm down. As teenagers, you're just entering into a state of wanting to experience the world. That curiosity, like, man, I want to experience this. I want to experience that. And as a teenager, you have raging hormones because everything is you're trying to find yourself. Your body is trying to regulate. Your body's trying to adapt to how it is. So now you're growing. Height, voice, extra body parts, you're growing. And as this is happening, you're kind of all over the place, emotionally and in your hormones, all over the place. And with that, you have issues. You have issues now. Like, man, before you could say, I like this girl or I like this boy, and it's pure. In your mind, you're thinking about just hanging out, like what do you want to do with that person? Oh, I just want to play with them, have a play date. That's all you think. Your mind is pure, because you're young. But as you get older and you start feeling weird feelings, like, what is this feeling? Why do I look at the opposite gender this way? Why do I see my world from this point of view? It's because of the fact that you're changing. And one thing that I've been understanding or thinking about is Jesus was also a teenager at one point. So Jesus, most people when you think of Jesus, you don't think of Jesus as a teenager. You think of Jesus as the baby that he was in the manger. Oh, the baby in the manger. And then the man he was, when he became a man. But you skip out you ignore the fact that Jesus had to go from being a baby to being 13, 14, 15. He had to be that age with those raging hormones. He had to be at that age. And guess what? Jesus didn't fornicate, not with himself and not with anyone. Jesus was never even married. Jesus was able to control himself. You may say, how? Well, because he was going based off of the power of God, relying on the Father. And yes, while he was God, he still had like passions. Sorry if I keep scratching. My head is itchy. So he had like passions. He had the same desires and thoughts that you had. He confronted them, which made them less, but he had them. He was just like us. He was just God, but us. Like if you were able to transform into an ant, you now look like an ant. You're going to think the thought of an ant, even though you're you, and you could turn back into your full, human form again. You just imagine that, okay? I'm a human. I'm able to transform into an ant. Perfect example, wild crats. So when wild crats, they're able to transform into different kinds of animals to explore them. They're at any given time, whenever they want to, they can just, and turn back into their human form. Yes, you may be an ant and you're getting beat up by these, or you're about to be stepped on, or, hornets are coming at you, and you're an ant. You, at any point in time, like, you could just turn back into a human and then kill the hornets, or kill the bee, or kill that, or kill this, or, at any point in time, you could just do that. But, you're an ant, So, if you're able to get that into your mind, that was Jesus. Jesus he's the all-powerful God. He turned into a man. He shrunk himself, and fit himself into a man's body. Now he's a man. And he's going to think and feel the way a man feels while knowing he's still God. So Jesus knew he was God. It wasn't like a brainwashing thing. No, Jesus knew, Jesus knew good and well who he was. He knew who he was. I'm God. I came from this place. Now, whether he knew that when he was a baby, I don't know. But I know he knew. So, Jesus was a teenager at one point. Jesus was a teenager. Jesus had desires. Jesus had feelings. Now, I would suppose this is an advantage. I don't know. It says Jesus wasn't, physically attractive. Like, doesn't mean he was ugly, but he just wasn't. He was your average guy. Like, he's average. He was average. So, I mean, maybe girls didn't want to like him or whatever. I don't know. But in your mind, you feel as if nobody understands this or that. And as a teenager, I'm here to tell you that it's not easy. It's not. You have to make conscious decisions every day to obey. And do I make conscious decisions? Sometimes I slip up. Sam, I want you to do this. Okay. And I'm not going to do it. Why? Not because I hate God necessarily, although when you sin, it's because you hate the Lord. That's not my initial motive. Hey, Sam, do this. I want you to pray right now. Pray. Like, yeah, Lord, later I'll pray. Like, oh, okay. And then there's those areas of disobedience that then make me vulnerable to my world, to my emotions and feelings. Like, man, I feel this way. Why do I feel this way? Well, you weren't in the presence. Now your flesh has more control over you than your spirit does. And because your flesh is now in control, he's going to run you. Like, oh. But when I pray, when I'm in the presence of God and I'm obedient, my spirit is stronger. So whereas my flesh would want to look at this or want to have this viewpoint or want to do that, my spirit is the one who's behind the wheel. Jesus is behind the wheel. So now my flesh can't do anything. Like, no, you can't. The Holy Ghost has control right now. And we want that to be an everyday thing. Now, if you pray every single day, you read every single day, you obey, in the areas that God has given you strength in, you use the strength and you obey. Then when you have other issues, when you want to do other things that you're not supposed to do, things that are too hard for you, when you're in those circumstances, he's going to meet you with grace. He's going to meet you with supernatural power to obey him in those big areas because you obey him in the little areas. Now, if you, in the little areas, in the areas where he gives you the strength, he gives you your own strength, like you can do that. You can do that. but you choose not to use the strength, or you dismiss it, and you disobey in the small areas that he gave you power in, then when you get to the big areas, the harder things, he's going to leave you. He's not going to help you, because you're not obeying in the little things. So because you're not obeying in the little things, he's not going to give you grace to obey in the big things, because you're ignoring that little test right there. That little test there was something that you needed to know in that little test. If you would have passed, you would have gotten a measure of grace that he just stored in you. Like, Sam, wake up and pray. Okay, Lord, let me get up and pray. You don't know. The Lord while you're praying, the Lord just gave you felt something. Whoa, what was that, Lord? He may not tell you, but he knows, okay, you obeyed me in this area. That's praying. Like, come on, that's a small area. That's a small area to obey in. Just pray. Okay? The Lord wants you to pray. I want you to pray. And, okay, you got up to pray? Okay, here's a little bit of grace. You don't know that he's storing grace away for you. He's putting this away. This power, he's putting that away. I want you to stay in my presence for this long. Okay, Lord. And you're going to obey. Okay, give him this power. Put that power there. Give him a little bit more. Hey, I want you to obey your mom. Okay. When she says do this, do it. This, do that. And then, you don't know it, but he's storing power and grace away. He's storing this away for you. He's storing that away. He's putting that over there. And then when you get to this situation, like, Lord, I'm still battling with lust. Lord, you still know, Lord, you know that I'm battling with this level of pride. Lord, you know that this is too hard. He's like, oh, that's too hard? No. You've been obedient in the small things here. I've been putting this away for you. And he gives you this power, like, whoa, what's this? Yeah, now I want you to confront that. And you confront it, like, yeah, in the name of, and then you watch as that's just moved out of your way, like, wow, that was just moved out of my way. Yes, because you're obedient in the small areas, like, wow. So you're just putting power away from me? Yes, I'm just putting that away for you. But you don't see it, which all you see is, man, it's dark, it's 6, I'm not getting up to pray. No, I'm not getting up. Man, my mom always telling me to do that. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Because I don't feel like it. You just see the physical world. All you see is the physical. You don't see what the Lord is doing. You don't see that the demons are waiting there, waiting for you to drop your crown, waiting for you to put down your power, waiting for you to forfeit. You don't know. They're waiting. They're right there. Like, they're just waiting for you to do it. The moment you slip up, they just snatch something and ran. Because that's what they do. They want control. They want what you have. You don't see Jesus standing there out with his arm outstretched, something that he has for you. You don't see that. All you see is the fact, like, man, I want to do this. Why do you want to do it? Because I want to. But that's wrong. It's wrong, but I want to do it, and I'm going to do it. Man, the demons are waiting right there for you to do it. Yeah, I can't see them. Man, Jesus is standing right there. He wants to give that to you. You just have to obey in this area. Yeah, but I can't see him. I can't see it. All I see is this. So you may say, okay, so because we don't see, we don't believe. And because we don't believe, we don't obey. So yes, okay. So then you trace all of that back to seeing. So how do you see? Well, the more time you spend with God, the more sensitive you are. The more things he's going to show you. The more in tune with the Spirit you're going to be. So he may just open your eyes. No, not he may. He will open your eyes. You may not physically see something, but you'll know. The Lord's giving me something. The Lord's waiting. The demons are right here. They're waiting for me to do this. You'll feel it like, man, this decision is so heavy right now. I can feel that this decision is super heavy. If I do this, if I make the wrong decision, they're going to take control. If I make the right decision, I'm going to extract power from them. God's going to give me that, and they're going to have to go. They're going to have to go. Like, nah, you can't stay here. He's made this decision. Now he's walking in this level of holiness. You guys can't dwell here. No, not you guys. Nope. You can't. You're not allowed to tempt him with those things anymore, because he made this decision. So, but because you don't see it, you don't believe it. But if you saw it, you would believe it. So if you felt God's presence, like, Lord, I feel your presence. Lord, I see you in this way in my life. Lord, I see you like this. Yes, you do see me like this. And then the more you see him, the more you're afraid of him. The more you're afraid to sin, but the more excited you are to obey. And the more you obey, you're going to get closer and closer and closer and closer and closer. And then until your physical world becomes the spirit. The spirit world will become your reality. Like, that's your reality. That's no more the spirit. Now that you're living in the spirit. You're walking in the spirit. And because you're walking in the spirit, you're not going to fulfill the lust of your flesh. Because you're living in the spirit. You're walking in it. And because you're walking in it, you see it. It's a plain sight. The Lord talked about making the people's way plain. I don't remember where he said that at, but he said that, like, now it's plain. It's no more twists and loops and turns and voices and this. No, God is now, he's going to stand behind you. Your teachers are not going to be moved into a corner anymore. They're going to be there, and you're going to hear a voice behind you. This is the way. Walk you in it. It's no longer going to be hard. It's not going to be hard. It's going to be easy. Because now you can see. Now God's going to start giving you bits and pieces of the picture. And now because you can see and connect the dots, wow, this is that. That's this. Now you believe. Now you believe. And because you believe, you're going to obey. Because you see. Because you believe. And now you obey. But they all work together. All of those work together. You can't see and believe but not obey. You can't obey and not see and believe. If you obey, you're going to see. And if you see, you're going to believe. And if you believe, you're going to obey. And if you obey, you're going to see. And if you see, you're going to believe. And if you believe, you're going to obey. Some people, God says, no, you got to obey first. I'm not going to show you anything. You just better obey. Some people, it's like that. Other people, he's just going to give them faith. Like, I just believe. I just believe. And because they believe, they're obeying. And then the more they obey, they're going to see some people, God just shows them. Like, hey, this is how it is. And they're like, wow. And because they see it, now they believe it. And because they believe it, they're going to obey, accordingly. So, some people start off at different stages. Some people start off with seeing first. Like, I see this. You got people who are spiritual people. Like, they're spiritual. Like, I was able to see demons and angels when I was a kid. Like, yes. Now, because you can see that, you see. And because you see, you believe that they exist. And because you believe that they exist, you're going to act. Okay, those scary looking things, I don't want them around me. How do I not get them to be around me? Well, you have to do this. Oh, okay. Because I believe that that's true what I see. I believe what I see is true. So now I'm going to obey. Because I obey, I'm going to see more. Some people, you just believe. I just feel. I just think. I just feel this way. I believe strongly in my mind. I feel like this is reality. I feel like this is true, not this, what I see. I believe that this is true. Even though I don't see it, I believe it. And because I believe it, I'm going to act. Oh, and you know what? Acting on belief of the Spirit of God, that's obedience. That's going to breed obedience. And obedience, now God's like, oh, you're obedient. Okay, now I'm going to show you what you already believe. Now you get to see it. And that's just going to strengthen your belief, which is going to strengthen your obedience. Some people, he's not showing them anything. He's not giving them any thoughts. No, you just better obey. I'm not going to show myself to you. I'm not going to let you feel my presence. You just better do what you know. Read this Bible and do what you read. What did you read? You read this? Do it. Some people he's like that with. And then once they begin to obey, and they build up that, momentum of obedience, then he's going to show them, hey, this is who I am. This is what you're up against. This is the world, not what you're living in. No, that's not real. This is real. This is real. And then you see it like, wow. And then because you see it, you believe it. Like, man, I believe what I just saw is true. And now you're going to, like, man, I'm going to do even more. I'm going to obey even more because you see and believe and obey. So as a teenager, you may see, man, I see this guy. He's famous and he has this. He doesn't serve God. He has all of that. I see this girl. She has this. She's famous. She's this. They have this kind of success. This is their status. This is their this. This is their that. And they're not serving the Lord. So you see that. And that's what you believe. And now you're going to act according to that because that's what you see. But because you don't see God, that's why you act like an idiot. That's why you obey your hormones. That's why you obey your emotions. That's why you're a slave to different kinds of things because you don't see God. You don't see God. And you see this. And that's what you believe is true. That's true success. That's where you find your identity. That's this. That's how you satisfy these desires. This is how you satisfy those desires by doing that, or by doing this, or by doing that. Yeah, and because that's what you see, that's what you're going to begin to believe. And because that's what you believe, that's what you're going to begin to do. Now I do this. Why do you do this? Because I've seen other people do it and succeed. Now I believe that that's true. And now I'm going to implement it. I'm going to do it. And because you're doing what you see around you, this fake world, this is fake. This is fake. And you're living according to the fake world. So you don't see what's really behind the scenes. You don't see none of it. You don't know that you're getting impartations when you eat different things. You don't know, like, man, I like this girl. I'm going to kiss her. Oh, really? You're going to kiss her, are you? You didn't even know that kissing, most of you guys don't know this, kissing is an impartation. In the Old Testament, you'll see a lot, that, oh, he kissed him. He kissed him. Like, why? What's up with this? Are they gay? No, they're not gay. That's a sign. That's a transmitting of power, of anointing. That's what that is. So you think, oh my gosh, I like this person, I'm going to kiss them. You don't even know them. You're not committed to them. You don't know them. You're just going to kiss this person? Yes, that's what I'm going to do. Oh, and you're going to get whatever is on them, because that's how things can get transmitted. Not just sexually transmitted diseases, sexually transmitted devils. You can get that too. And the world knows this. The world knows this, that is a way to transmit. That's why they put it in your candy. Hershey's Kisses. You may think that's harmless. Of course, you and your idiotic mind think that. You think that, you have a Fisher-Price brain. You think, oh, it's just Hershey Kisses. It's just small. The way they shaped it, that's why they call it that. Yeah, the devil knows more than you. He's smarter than you. He's gonna put that there, and you're gonna, man, yeah, that's nothing. That's nothing. It's just Hershey Kisses. Yes, they're trying to give you something. Now, if you bring me some Hershey Kisses, I'm gonna eat them. I'm not saying don't eat it. What I am saying is that you need to don't be played. Don't get played by the devil. You think you're smart. As a teenager, that's what you think. Like, you think you're smarter than those who've come before you. God is telling you this, and you're like, no. That strong pride and rebellion. You feel like, your voice should be heard. And I know, because I feel that way at times too. And I have to subdue that, because the Word of God says this. Okay. So I'm a kid. Once you get in your head, hey, you're an idiot. You don't know anything. You're like what? You're 13 years, 14, 15, 16 years on this planet. You don't know anything. You've only been here for a short amount of time. You don't know anything. You think you know more than your parents. I know. I'm a teenager too. You think you know more. You don't know anything. You don't know anything. You're clueless. You wouldn't survive. You wouldn't survive. So and you think you know. And so because you think you know, you're not going to listen to the counsel of the old men. You're going to listen to the counsel of those who came up with you. Like Rehoboam. Yes, the old men told him, hey, this is how you should do it. If you do it like this, these people will serve you. These are old men who have reigned for years. They know what they're talking about. They're wise men. They sat in council with Solomon. Like, they know this. Like, hey, you serve the people, they're going to serve you. But that rebellion, that pride, that sense of, I know what I'm doing. I don't need you to tell me. What should I do? He's going to go and talk to the people who grew up with him. Those guys don't know anything. They don't know anything yet. He's going to go and talk. He's going to take their counsel. But he's going to refuse. He's going to forsake the counsel of the old wise men who know. Why do you think they call God the Ancient of Days? He knows. He's been here for a while. People think they know the world. Like, nah, the Christians don't know nothing. And while most Christians are idiots because they feel like God should do everything for them, you don't know more than the Lord and what he tells his people. So, yes, you think you know this. As a Christian, I'm telling you, you don't know anything. As a Christian teenager who doesn't know anything, I'm telling you, as a sinner, whether you're an adult or a teenager, to lean on the wisdom of God, not your own wisdom. Now, because you're supposed to be leaning not on your own understanding, but on the understanding of the Lord, you're supposed to put down your view of life. You don't want to treat life the way you see it. because your view of life is perverted. It's messed up. You have the view of Satan. So when man sinned in the garden, they got the nature, they got the thinking pattern, they got, what you hear, the way you hear things, you got that from Satan. The way you see things, you got that from Satan. The way you think, you got that from Satan. What you say, you got that from Satan. What you see, you got that from Satan. Your perspective, you got that from Satan. What you do, how you engage your world, you got that from Satan. That's who you act like. I mean, he's your father. You are your daddy's son, as the worldly people would say. So, you're just like him. You have his perspective on life. You have his view. You have his mindset. And so because you have his mindset and he thinks he knows everything, although he's not playing with a full deck of cards, he thinks he knows everything. You think you know everything. You're rebellious. You're prideful just like him. You think you know everything when you don't know anything. And so the Lord is trying to tell you, hey, don't lean on your understanding, because your understanding is polluted, it's perverted, it's messed up, it's contorted. Lean on my wisdom. Lean on me. Trust in me. Don't trust in CNN. Trust in me. Trust in me. Don't trust in that. Don't trust in Hollywood. Don't trust in, time. Don't trust in that. Don't trust in that. Trust in me. But people feel like, no. I'm going to trust in this because this is what I see. And because that's what you see, that's what you're going to pursue. That's what you're going to accept as right, because that's what you see. So that's what you believe. So that's what you're going to do. You see the devil, you believe the devil, you're going to obey the guy. But if you see the Lord and you believe in God, you're going to obey him. You can't serve two masters. So as a teenager, you think you know everything. You think, you're prideful, you're rebellious. I'm here to tell you to drop that. God resists the proud. He resists the proud, but he gives grace to the humble. So you may think you know everything. You may feel like, man, I deserve a say. Says who? You don't know anything. What's going to come out of your mouth is complete garbage and irrelevant. Not saying that you may not say smart things every now and then, but that is what I'm saying. You're not. You're as a human being whose mind is contorted by sin, nothing you come up with is going to be established. And everyone who builds temporary things is looked at as a fool. Why are you building that for temporary reasons? If it's not for preparation, then you're a fool. So as a teenager, I know this. I have a view that I feel like everyone should see the world through my eyes. Man, if you only saw it through me, like, no, you think you know, like, man, it's just this. And the Lord's saying, no, there's a story behind that. You don't see what God sees. God sees this. God sees the spirit world. He sees both. But one thing you don't understand is nothing happens in this physical world that you see that has not already happened in the spirit world. So, who was the president? So who was the president? Who was elected? Yes, this guy was elected to be the president. Okay, yeah, he was elected. The spirit world already decided that. That was done in the spirit world. It just takes time to manifest here. So everything that happens in the spirit world has already happened. So God sees, and he's telling you, hey, don't engage that because that is this. This thing is controlling that. And you say, no, it's just the iPhone. No, it's just this. No, it's just that. It's just, and I was like, okay, you obviously know more. And then when you engage it, and then you see, Lord, why is this happening? Why is there so much war and death? How come these areas are subject to these kinds of diseases? Why are the babies born this way? Why? And you want to blame God. God, this is your fault. And God's like, what? I told you not to engage that. I told you not to learn the way of the heathen. I told you not to look at a woman to lust after her. Why is there so much rape in our area? What? I mean, you guys do this. You watch these kinds of movies. The Word of God tells us to not sin and to not take pleasure in those who sin. Don't watch people fight. Yes, I don't. Yes, you may not fight, but you watch movies with that in it. Yes, you may not fornicate or commit adultery, but you watch movies with that in it. You know, yes, you may not do this, but you watch and you take pleasure. Like, man, oh, you saw how he TKO'd that one dude? Yeah, man. Yeah, that's what's it. Man, why is this violence happening? What do you mean, why? You just contributed to that when you agreed. When you watched that, you agreed with it. And so because you agreed with it, now the spirit of violence now is going to take control of your area. He is now going to run your area. That's not fair. That's not fair. How come I don't know about this? The Lord is sitting here trying to tell you. Was like, hey, look at my word. Don't judge this world based off of how you see it. I want you to treat it the way I tell you to treat it. Engage it the way I tell you to engage it. This is how I want you to engage your world. You say, Lord, no, that's not the way. That's not the way. This is the way. And I was like, that's not the way. This is the way. And because you think you know more, and God's greatest desire is to let people do what they want. Give the people what they want. God believes that. Just in case you didn't know, God will let you. Oh, that's what you think it is. All right, fine. Let him do it. And then when things go bad, Lord, why is this happening? Why? My daughter was, she was trafficked. This happened. Lord, that happened. This happened. Lord's just like, oh. And people was charging God. God, this is your fault. See, this is why I hate God. Some people have the nerve to come out of their mouth like that. Man, this is why I don't serve God. This is this. This is that. You're saying that and God's just like, oh, it's my fault. I told you not to do that. I told you not to do that. I mean, can you imagine your baby, your 3-year-old child, if you have one, or if you can envision yourself having one, 3-year-old child, you tell them, hey, don't stick your fingers, or don't put the scissors in that socket. You told them that multiple times. Don't do that. Don't do that. Or no, not 3. Let's say 5. You told your 5-year-old child who is better at comprehending, they understand. Don't do that. And the next thing you know, you hear a scream. You come out, electric shock. You see that, you got to rush into the hospital, and your kid has the nerve later on to say, it's my parents' fault because they weren't watching me. Like, what? I told you not to do that. I told you not to do that. That'll make you angry. Like, what? I know you're in this hospital bed, but I'm about to slap you. Like, I'm about to hurt you because I told you not to do that. And that's how God feels. God is just more able to control himself. But that's how God feels. Like, hey, I told you guys not to do that. You made a decision to go and do that. And now you're facing the consequences, and now you want to blame me. You invited that demon spirit of whatever to now come and reign in your city. And he's there to amplify the sin, to make the sin worse, and to keep you guys sinning. He's there to keep you guys, make sure you guys keep doing that and worse. He's there to make things worse. Like, nah, I don't want to serve the Lord. No, that's not for me. That's not for me. Oh, well, this guy's for you, and he's going to run your life. And then you want to blame God. So don't lean on your own understanding. As a teenager, you have your own view of life, but it's the view of Satan. You look at the world the way Satan looks at the world. That's your default. That's default. You say, why? Because you were born and shaped in iniquity. You can thank Adam and Eve for that. But that's you. That's you. I understand. It's hard. It's not easy. I'm a growing boy, okay? I'm growing into a man. I have instincts. I have emotions. I have desires that have to be subdued every single day. Every single day. I don't just sit in my house. I engage people, okay? I engage people. When I go to the store, man, oh, she's pretty. Well, no. We don't think like that, Sam. Get it together. And you have to sometimes tell yourself that, like, talk out loud. Hey, we don't think like that. We're Christians. Keep walking. Go get this and get out of here. You have to learn how to deny yourself. Yes, your flesh wants to do that. You have to tell it no. No, we're not doing that. So that's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. Pursue the Lord. Don't let the devil trick you. Consider what you're getting yourself into. Whether you're young or old, Christianity is no joke. Because yes, while it is a free gift, once you get in here, you have to then cope with what God wants. Yes. Oh, we want to be free. We want to be free from Egypt. Okay, and once you're free, now you have to live the way the one who freed you wants you to live. Like, no, I don't want to live the way you want me to live. Well, I'm gonna kill you. How about that? And that's how it is. So if you feel like, no, I want to go and watch, Marvel. I want to go and watch this. I want to go and do this. I want to sleep with Shawty one more time. I want to go and smoke this. I want to just do it one more time. Go. I'm telling you, go. They got the new Avengers movie coming out. Whatever it's called, Spider-Man. I saw it on the one thing. Go watch it. Venom, go watch it. What they got this, go do it. The new whatever it is, go get it. Go get the PS5, man. Go get the newest car, man. Go get the nicest house. Go and get all the girls. Go do it. Enjoy your life while you have it, because I'm telling you, you're not gonna remember anything. You're gonna need it. You're gonna need those memories. Like, man, was it really worth it? That's what you're gonna ask yourself. For those of you who are like, you're willing to sacrifice, because you're gonna lose your life for this gospel. You're going to lose your life for this gospel. This is gonna cost you your life. You have to lay down your life for Jesus. Did you know that? You have to lay down your life for him. You have to sacrifice your life for him. If you don't sacrifice, you're not gonna make it in. You can't be his disciple. So for those of you who are willing to take that risk, I'm going to risk it. I'm going to sacrifice. Well, then, this is my Instagram. You can, message me or whatever. I'm most likely going to put this on Facebook and YouTube, maybe. But you can, you know what to do. You can reach out. But if you got other stuff to do, you want to go and do this, you want to be a kid, I don't want God to steal my fun. Well, don't let God steal your fun, bad God. No, don't let him go and steal your fun. You go out there and you watch that. You go out there and you do that. Don't let God steal your fun. Don't let him do it to you, because he'll do it. He'll do it. Don't let him steal your fun. Go out there and do what you want to do. Just know you're not in control of the consequences that are going to come about with that. So be holy or you're going to hell.